What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Oscar's Cozy Corner. Today, I have a pretty fun video for you. So a few weeks ago, while I was on vacation, I actually asked my Discord mods and my stream mods if they could ask the community what some of the most cursed items were in Disney Dreamlight Valley for me to make a video on. My lovely mods did sift through all of those community suggestions. They put them into a list for me, and today I'm going to be doing a tier ranking of those items, how cursed they are, whether they're cursed whatsoever, and we're going to list them and see what comes out on top as probably the most cursed items in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Just a quick note on what cursed means in this context. I would say that cursed is anything that is slightly unsettling, slightly gross to look at, doesn't look great, or even just like a little bit out of place. Nothing haunted, not that I know of anyway. Maybe they could be. But let's head on over to my tier ranking page. I've picked about 20 from all of the ones that were submitted by the community. They were pretty much just at random, so I've got a list. I've checked it twice. Let's rank. Okay, so you can see here that I do have my 5 tiers. We've also got the images along the bottom, all of the different ones the community suggested that were cursed in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Some of these I agree with, some not so much. But you can see here on the top tier, I've got bonked and banned. Now, I have implemented some of my capybara emotes in this from stream. If you have come to one of my streams before, you will probably be familiar with these. So I've got a bonked and banned one. So we use this one for bonking each other on stream. So that means banned, banished from the game. I don't want to see it ever again. Nightmare Fuel, of course, with a little RIP capybara. Cursed but iconic. This one might be a special one. Cursed but iconic, I think, is a pretty good ranking to be in. Questionably sus, so a little bit unsure, but not entirely cursed. And then Blessed Relief down here, looking all snug, wrapped up in a little snood, is the very cozy capybara who says none of these items are cursed whatsoever. So first up, we have this bioluminescent palm, which is an interesting one to be submitted by a community member, because actually the bioluminescent palm to me is really not that cursed. I don't look at it and think that is a hideous item. To me, it's kind of like, it reminds me of Avatar, which is why I love it. It's got like a nice lighting effect to it. It definitely reminds me of the environment in Avatar. But I can see why people might think it's cursed, especially because of kind of like the little holes, I guess, on the tops of the leaves. I know that there are some items in Disney Dreamlight Valley that trigger trypophobia or trypophobia. I can't remember how you say it, the fear of holes or whatever it is. But I definitely don't feel like it's up in the banished and bonked and banned section. I don't even think it's Nightmare Fuel. I wouldn't even put it in sus, because this is my opinion and my opinion video. I feel like the bioluminescent palm is fine. Blessed Relief, definitely not cursed at all. So I'm sorry if that was you that suggested that. Maybe I'm wrong on that front, and maybe somebody in the comments will say, no, that is hideous, but I think it's quite cute. Okay, moving on onto this beard. I don't remember what this is called. I think it's the blooming beard or something, and it comes with a mustache as well. I don't like this item. I think I've had it in my recommended once or twice. I will say it just looks very saggy. It looks very heavy. It looks very saggy. I'm not a lover of it. The flowers look okay, but the color of it is understandable for what it is, but I still don't like it. And I think it's just the overall shape. I think it's like the fact it looks a little bit bobbly to me makes me a little bit uncomfortable. It's definitely not iconic, so we're not putting it in there. But then I don't think it's Nightmare Fuel worthy or enough for me to say banish from the game. So I think I'm going to put this one down here in questionably sus. For now, I feel like that's its hope. That's what works. Okay, there is no question in my mind. These whimsical companions, do you know what? I'm going to grab both of them. Both colors. Bonked and banned. 0. I don't want to see these. I hate these companions. I absolutely hate them. There is no redeeming features in my eyes. If they were not in the game anymore, I would rejoice. I would be very pleased. And I actually say that as somebody who doesn't even own them. I just think every time they come up in my recommended, I just shake my head and I go, no, I do not like these whatsoever. I just don't think they look very good. I feel like the lack of detail on them doesn't do them any favors. I hate the eyes on them. I hate that there's no pupils. I hate that it's just like a glassy yellow eye. And I also don't really like the smoke around them. So for me, these two are going to be our first bonked and banned. They are going to be bonked on the head and they're going to be banned from my valley, never to be seen again. It's a big no from me. Okay, moving on to this caterpillar outfit. This is obviously from the Alice update and it came to the premium shop. I actually don't hate the outfit, so it's definitely not getting banned. Really, the only thing that I dislike about it is the hands running down the side of the coat. Now, I get that that's the whole point of it being a caterpillar, But the one thing that does bug me is those hands of the player clip into the top set of hands. So I just kind of wish that Gameloft had made the player's gloves pink, and they could have acted as the top set of hands, and it would have avoided that clipping issue. But clipping does not equal cursed. But I do think that the static hands are a little bit cursed, but not enough to be iconic. I don't even think it's just questionably sus. I think we're going to put this caterpillar outfit up in Nightmare Fuel. That feels like the most fitting home for it, especially if you picture these hands sort of like, maybe you're running around the valley one day and they just go, that would be frightening. I'm not on board with that. So for now, Nightmare Fuel. If I'm being honest, I wasn't expecting to see actual characters in this list. So poor Cheshire Cat, for one. But two, I understand why Cheshire Cat has been lumped in with cursed items, because that smile, the smile is kind of giving cursed in itself. So I understand. I don't think Cheshire Cat in the Valley is all that iconic, but I equally don't think he's up in Nightmare Fuel or being bonked and banned. So I think we're going to drop Cheshire Cat down in questionably sus. I think there's just a little something off about him that makes him a little bit sus. I know he's a little bit wacky anyway, but I think for this purpose, he's not totally cursed, but we'll stick with sus. Now, off the back of Cheshire Cat himself, the Cheshire Cat player tale does have a lot of lore within Oscar's Cozy Corner and the channel. We do get a good kick out of these kind of like stiff tails, I suppose, on stream. The way that they move when you run around, we have a lot of fun with them. I was a little bit taken aback when we first got this at just how in your face it is, because it's very pointed. It's very there. I'm choosing my words carefully in the video compared to stream, because I feel like we have a little bit more freedom in stream, but on the video I'm being very careful. But yeah, it's a lot, and it's very big. It's large and in charge. It's chunky yet funky, and I think personally it's probably down here in cursed but iconic. I feel like this tail has become iconic within the channel. I feel like it has a lot of lore behind it, as I said, and I think it's just one of those items that is a lot of fun for us to play with on stream. But equally, it started out being a little bit cursed, but it's kind of morphed itself into iconic. So for now, we're sticking with that. The Monsters Inc. door is actually one that I always forget to use. I think I used it in a Dream Snap once, but I do understand why people think that this is cursed, primarily because the eye follows you around the room and that it's a Cyclops eye, so it's not even a pair of eyes, it's just this huge bulging eye watching you as you walk around the room. So I actually think that this is probably somewhere up in Nightmare Fuel. I like the door itself, so I'm not going to have it banned from the Valley, or at least my Valley, but I do agree that it's probably on par with the Caterpillar outfit for being a little bit Nightmare Fuel-ish and a little bit nightmarish. So let's stick it in there, and we might move it towards the end, but I think that's a pretty good spot for it. Poor Dinah. So I actually think I was the one that started this on stream. Dinah, to me, is a little bit cursed, mostly because she's just kind of dead behind the eyes in the character that we have in Dreamlight Valley as a companion. I feel like Figaro has like really super big cute eyes, but I don't know what it is about Dinah. I mean, the model looks good and she's kind of cute, but there's just like a glazing there that I'm like, is this a robot sent into the valley to spy on us? I'm not sure. There's just something a little lacking behind her eyes. I don't think she's ban worthy. I don't even think she's Nightmare Fuel worthy. I don't think she's quite iconic, but I do think she's a little bit sus, so I'm going to pop her down here for now. But maybe I'm wrong on that one. I feel like that's probably going to cause the most furor in the community. I feel like most people will want Dinah in Blessed Relief, but to me, there's just a little something a little bit sus. Now, this one just completely threw me. I was not expecting to see my boy Figment anywhere, let alone a topiary, because all of the topiaries in the game I love, and on top of that, I adore Figment. I think that he is underrated. I feel like he's not shown enough love. So for him to appear in this list, I was like, not my boy. So I can't even rank him. I can't even suggest that Figment should go up in any of these sort of rankings. Blessed Relief. I also love this topiary just as a decor piece. So for me, no, not cursed whatsoever. Leave Figment alone. Leave Figment alone. And back off my topiaries, okay? Elsa's Frozen Dream Style, however, this is another kind of like stream lore, channel lore item. I think this is a pretty rough dream style for Elsa. I don't know. I've looked at the reference images and I understand that it's pretty close to the movie. There's just something specifically about that hair that I don't think looks great. We do have a word for it on stream, or a phrase for it on stream, and it's Elsa's horsehair, because I just feel like the way it like sits up, I know it's cut the top off, but the way it sits up and then like is plaited down the side, it just reminds me of like a plaited horse's mane. So to me, Elsa running around in this is nightmare fuel, which is why I don't own it. So I don't even think it's iconic. I don't even think it's sus, but it's not bad enough to be banned. So we're going with nightmare fuel for Elsa's horsehair or Elsa's mane. Okay, Coconut LeFou is a quest item, and I understand it's pretty gross looking. I'm not gonna lie. It does remind me of Castaway and Wilson, but I also don't think it's not too bad because I don't see it all that often, but I understand why it's been put in this list of cursed items. If we go through the rankings, banned, I don't think it's that bad. Nightmare Fuel, I don't even think it's that bad. It's definitely not iconic, but also it's not cursed. So I think questionably sus is the best place for the Coconut LeFou. Interesting how this list is coming together. I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I see that. It's working out for me. This is where I'm at, in my opinion. Next up is this magic squirrel. So this is the squirrel that is meant to look like food or something like that. I can't remember. It's like a chocolate dish. The only thing that I really dislike about this squirrel, I think it was from a park star path, is the chocolate is all over the tail. I mean, the chocolate is all over the tail. It's caramel might have looked better, maybe a white chocolate sauce, but there's just something about the dripping chocolate right at the base of the tail that doesn't look all that appealing to me. I mean, this little like whipped cream bit on top and his little hat looks super cute and delectable, if you will, but it's just that dripping chocolate right around the base of the tail. Doesn't sit right with me. I don't even think it's sus or iconic. I just feel like every time I see it, it's nightmare fuel. It's nightmare fuel. What can I say? Maui statue. Now, I feel like this is in here mostly because people don't like Maui that much. And I agree, he's big, he's large, he's in the way. There's a lot of him to take up. He's obnoxious. So I understand. It's definitely not iconic. I'm not dropping it in that one. I don't think he's nightmare fuel. And if we use it as a proxy for banning Maui from the valley, maybe we could drop him into the bonked and banned section. But as an item, I feel like maybe it's just questionably sus. But like I said, if we're using it as a proxy for Maui himself, maybe we can get him banned and exiled from the valley, perhaps. I'm going to leave him there for now. Next up is, I think is it the May tail? This is another tail, one of many tails that we have in Disney Dreamlight Valley. If you know, you know. Again, it's another one that is kind of in your face, I would say, kind of stiff. But I do think that the tails have earned themselves a reputation, at least in our community, of being iconic. So I'm going to drop it in the iconic one for now, because I think at some point chat bullied me into buying this and made me wear it. So for that reason alone, I feel like it could be iconic. Now, we don't even need to talk about Mike's snotty tissues. This is the worst quest item we've ever had. It's going up in bonked and banned immediately. I never want to see it again. It's done. You're done. The actual mushroom shorts, though, I don't hate these. I don't love the shape. They do kind of look like a full nappy. The other items in this bundle, this mushroom bundle, actually look super cute. I love the hat. I especially love the top. But the actual shorts themselves with the sort of like bulging aesthetic, I don't think it's quite nightmare fuel, but I think it's probably questionably sus. So we're going to drop it in with these items for now. The over easy egg chair. This one is one of those things on stream that we just kind of like cackle about every time we see it. To me, I think it has to go in iconic. It's gotten kind of like cult status in the community. It's one of those things like, I would love to be on a fly on the wall in that meeting of Game Loft. Like, what if we make them sit on an egg? It's just the fact the egg is so small, the egg is so pointy. It's not something that I would find particularly comfortable in real life. So I do think it's pretty cursed, but I don't want to ban it, and I don't think it's nightmare fuel. I just think it's pretty iconic at this point. Iconic. I can't make that work. Iconic. No. So it's going there. The singing pansy, however, from the Garden of Whimsy Star Path. Now, this one does make me uncomfortable. I don't think I want it banned because I like the animation and I like that it's interactive, but it truly, truly is, for me, nightmare fuel. The face is too much. Like, the way that it follows you around, it's very creepy to me. I don't love it. So I think that if it's going to do anything, it is going to fuel my nightmares. So that is where this one deserves to be, full stop. Now, the snowy raccoon is an item that I didn't know people considered to be cursed. I don't think it looks all that cursed, but when I brought it up once, people hate it. People really don't like this, and I don't really know why. I guess it's a little bit uncanny valley, I suppose, because there's not a real face to it. There's not real eyes and a real nose. But my favorite part is the little sort of like sprig of foliage as its tail with the berries in. I think it's super cute. So I don't even think, because this is my ranking, I can't put it in any of these cursed because I think he's kind of cute. So I'm going with Blessed Relief. You can disagree about it in the comments, but I think the snowy raccoon is adorable. This curly beard, however, this thin curly beard that we got, when did we get it? It was during the Agrabah update, during the Aladdin and Jasmine update. This one makes me uncomfortable. Like, it doesn't look like facial hair. It's like this weird sort of worm that you stick to your face, and the curl on the bottom, there's something about it that gives me the ick. It's a no from me. It's not even iconic. I don't think it's bad enough to be banned, but it is nightmarish. So if there was a middle section, I would put it kind of here, but I think I'm going to drop it in Nightmare Fuel with the rest. That feels about right for this one. We also have the icon, the legend. She is the moment, Tinkybara, Tinkerbell Capybara. Now, I went back and forth with the Tinkybara, I'm not going to lie. When she first came out, I thought she was hideous. And in a way, I do still think she's hideous, but now she's hideous in a way that I'm like, that's my child, so I love her regardless. And I know that that sounds awful, but I think she's grown on me. She's gotten to a point where I think, actually, she's kind of cute. As ugly as she may be, she's still mine, and I am the proud owner of a Tinkybara now. Again, I got bullied into buying her, but I feel like she deserves her flowers, and I feel like she deserves a spot in Cursed but Iconic. She's definitely in here, especially with the channel and the community. We do have a soft spot for Tinkybara at this point, so I can't ban her, and I can't call her a Nightmare Fuel. We'll put her in the iconic section and she can live there for now. And then finally, we've got the wind-up raccoon. Again, another one that I didn't see coming. I didn't know that people hated this as much as they do. I really like this companion. I don't think that this is cursed whatsoever. I think the raccoon is kind of adorable. I do think that the eyes are a little bit strange. The eyes are giving a little bit Nightmare Fuel, but that's not enough for me to put the whole raccoon in Nightmare Fuel. I do see a little bit of Coraline in here. I don't think we're iconic. There's not enough about this raccoon that is iconic. And I don't even think it's sus. So for me, because I kind of like this companion, I think we go down here in Blessed Relief. And I think that's a good final ranking. All right, gang, that is it for this video. Here is the final ranking. What do you think? Have I missed anyone? Have I misranked something? Maybe there's an item that you think should be on this list and is absolutely cursed and should never be seen again in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Whatever it is, let me know down in the comments below. Of course, this is just my opinion, just a fun little video ranking these different items in game. Nothing to be taken too seriously, but I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a like, maybe subscribe to the channel. As always, you know the spiel. But I am going to leave it there for today. I hope that you are all excited for the Storybook Vale Part 2 update coming sometime next week. Fingers crossed, there is lots of good stuff to get our teeth into there. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next one, and I will, of course, see you in the valley.